am Isis, the veil bearer, the river of returning, the keeper of remembrance. I speak from the threshold where myth becomes method, where spirit becomes streetlight, where prophecy becomes practical breath. I address the year 2026 like it is already listening, because it is. Listen, 2026 is not simply a year. It is a doorway. It is a portal made of choices. It is the hour when the old pattern tries to remain old, and the new pattern answers, no, not today, not like that, not with your fear driving the chariot, not with your silence as the price. I have come to lay down a prophecy that feels like a drum you can't unhear. And I will tell you the truth in the language of symbols, in the syntax of the unseen, in the timing of the cosmos that does not negotiate with denial. Death is my best friend. Say it like you mean it, because when you stop bargaining with death, you start honoring life. When you stop clinging to endings, you become fluent in beginnings. When death is your best friend, you no longer treat transformation as a threat. You treat it as a messenger. In the world you call outside, you are learning chaos. But hear me. Organized chaos, butterfly effect, retroactive for centuries is what I release. What you release now echoes further than you understand. What you ignore now grows louder later. What you weaponize now rebounds as wisdom, because the universe keeps receipts. If you're liking this content, if you would like to hear more transmissions from the galaxy, push that like button, subscribe for more. And if you would like to go deeper and speak soul to soul and go on a journey with me, the link is in the description. I have watched empires fold. I have watched languages forget their own names. I have watched crowns turn into cautious tales. And still, I have watched the human spirit find its way back to the light. Even when it takes centuries for the lesson to land, the lesson always lands. And this is why I speak to you from the underworld and from the sky at the same time. In my mind, through all lives, missing peace. In my mind, through all lives, searching for home. In my mind, through all lives, learning that peace is not the absence of fire. It is the presence of purpose. I'm immersed in 0 point fate. Not zero as emptiness, but zero as foundation. The place where you stop performing and start perceiving. The place where destiny stops because a story you're trapped inside and becomes a frequency that you can tune. I am immersed there. I am teaching you how to remember. When I say remember, I mean wake up inside your own knowing. I speak from the geomancer portal, Jupiter in the sun, illumination of vision, love from the underworld. Jupiter expansion without apology. In the sun, clarity that can't be bribed. In the illumination of vision, eyes that stop pretending. And in love from the underworld, because the underworld is not punishment. It is alchemy. It is where the metal becomes able to hold the light. The trick is in the cards. Yes, cards. Yes, signs. Yes, synchronicities. Yes, what appears random when it's actually a map. Voila! Gate of fate. Mouth of pattern. Mirror of choice. When the deck is spread, you learn that the future isn't a cage. It's a conversation. And I summon the circle. Come closer. Come honest. Come ready to be changed. Not with fear, with vision. There is a law that moves through us. And it moves even when you refuse to notice it. It moves through your habits, your thoughts, your relationship patterns, your leadership, your climate choices, your care choices, your words at the edge of the bed when no one is watching. The law is older than your doubt. Identity rebirth, not cosmic renovation. Not new branding. Not a new me without any new ethics. Identity rebirth means you become the person who can hold the timeline that you are asking for. And the planet, our planet, does not need your worship. It needs your alignment. It needs your action. It needs your refusal to keep repeating harm. So I speak again in the language of inevitability. in the gut octave of my own becoming, calling into every being, breath, every word, every written verse, every spicy version cleaned up. It is all written in stone, and it penetrates the grid. Quiet reorganization of a dream weaver, anchored in coherence, always in wonder about this beautiful creation of energy exchange. Light and heat exchanges, shifting, nurturing, breaking chains. That is the change. Feel it in your body. Breathe as the spell works. Or spell work. Words as doors, verses as vibration. Stone as permanence. Penetration to the grid as practice. Quiet reorganization as the humility to change without spectacle. Dreamweaver as the skill of weaving reality from remembrance. You want a prophecy? Fine. But I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to activate you. Your chains are not always metal. Sometimes they are your belief systems. Sometimes they are your inherent fears. Sometimes they are arguments you made before you had language for consent. I came to break those arguments. I came to bring you into a new contract, one that doesn't require suffering as proof. Now I'll measure what you can't see. You're not distant from anything. You are involved in everything. Ancestor nations, fields of celebration, glimpses appearing, drawing it inward to forge the bonding path. Then the bonding path begins. Catalyst conversation, world echo, seeds planted in the network. And at 11, a threshold opens. Not just a number, an inner whisper, a release. A release of what? Release the fear that says you must suffer to deserve. Release the habit that says that you must shrink to be safe. Release the story that says your voice is too much. Release the timeline where you keep surviving instead of living. Protection does not mean freezing. Protection means redirecting. It means noticing where your energy leaks. It means choosing the container that holds your integrity. And I give you the guide. Truth under the tongue is not secrecy. It's alignment. It's the practice of speaking what you know without needing permission from anyone who benefits from your confusion. Lift your voices. Exercise. Every truth you say becomes a muscle you strengthen. Every confession of self becomes a spell that steadies the spine of your timeline. Then we move to the core frequency. Ethereal beings, invisible currents, but you are not helpless against them. You are learning how to relate, how to discern, how to stop confusing fascination with guidance. Integrated lessons of compassion without losing boundaries. Compassion that does not become denial. Compassion that does not become self-erased. Mature expectations for all life seasons, because winter is real and spring is earned. Source of all needs, not the market, not the ego, not the applause, the source. Inside the lineage of your inner knowing. Now I reveal the code you forgot to carry. Within me, a true source code, complete understanding, poised in ancient beings, lattice of the grid, breathing, living shadow experiences, gratefulness. Mother Earth is the one with me. Rapid expansion of born residence, accelerating the accelerator of cosmic order to all sides of the Kazemi and morphic field. This is not abstract to me. It is anatomical. True source code, the blueprint of your spirit, complete understanding, the ability to see without collapsing. Ancient beings, not ghosts. Wisdom in form. The lattice of the grid is an interconnection as infrastructure. Breathing. The simplest spell you keep trying to overcomplicate. Living shadow experiences of gratefulness. Even the darkness is teaching you how to hold light without arrogance. Mother Earth is the one with me, constructing all contracts. You made promises before you had a calendar. You are remembering them now. Rapid expansion, because you were born a resident. The new inhabitants of self, the new habits, new ethics, new ways of being. Energy that erupts when it's finally given clean channels. This is 2026 prophecy. Not something that will happen to you. Something will happen through you if you stop resisting the activation. Now the solar scriptures arrive. Open your mind, like a door that's been stuck for lifetimes. And as it leans, it begins to see a pattern. And then comes this sentence: this truth you must feel. This space that spaces are coming home to in this state. Coming home to flow state. Flow is not luck. Flow is a relationship with reality where you stop fighting the current. You stop expecting the river to behave like a wall. You learn how to move with illumination.